One of my most fond memories as a child was the first time I went pheasant hunting. It was a cold, foggy morning in 2011, and my dad had asked me the week prior if I wanted to go pheasant hunting. And I had always heard the great stories that my dad had said with him and his friends going pheasant hunting, so of course I seized the opportunity. We woke up early that morning and we went into the field, which was only about 15 minutes from where we lived. We started to walk, and walk, and walk, endlessly until the sun set. We had walked the entire day, but we had gotten 2 birds in our bag. That was enough for a meal for my family, and I was more than proud to bring that home and show that to my parents. The benefits of hunting don't only affect the hunter, but also carry over into the ecosystems in which they live. Today I'll be telling you about the numerous positive impacts that hunting has on everything, whether that be the astounding health benefits that it provides through its wild game, I'm also going to dive into the economic impact that it has on conservation efforts, and also the management of animal populations that hunters can do. I love hunting and everything that comes with it, but most people's favorite part is the game that they harvest and are able to eat. Venison is the most popular form. Venison is defined as the edible flesh from a game animal, commonly in the Cervidae family, which is hoofed animals. Similar to beef in texture and appearance, venison has a very big appeal. It has more vitamins, but slightly less minerals than beef. It is leaner due to the activity level that they experience, which means it has less fat, fewer calories, less cholesterol, but more protein. Venison runs the chance of having CWD, which is chronic wasting disease. Chronic wasting disease has never had a human case registered, but there's always a slight chance. Wild game doesn't have hormones, antibiotics, or other chemicals such as the common farm animals that often do. And the only true risk that runs with eating wild game is through lead fragments that come off from the bullet. There's many ways around this, either cutting holes around the exit and entry wounds, or by using archery or some other means of harvesting the game. Many people enjoy eating the wild game, but the economic elements that help the animals really truly do the most. Hunting fees are the #1 source of income for animal conservation groups. In 2017, hunters paid $796 million, donated $440 million, and in 1937, they implemented 11% tax on guns, ammo, and archery. Nowadays, that totals $371 million a year. That's a total of $1.6 billion that is raised annually, which is more than any other organization does. In just over 100 years, elk populations have grown from 41,000 to over 1 million. Deer populations have gone from 500,000 to over 32 million, and turkey populations have rebounded from just over 100,000 to 7 million. These are just a few examples of what can happen when conservation groups have the proper funds. My third and final point, which is probably the most natural one, is that hunting affects ecosystems by controlling population sizes. Hunters contain population size by harvesting wild game in an endless cycle. Without hunters, predators dominate or animals are forced to compete for food due to overpopulation. Multiple studies have been conducted with this topic in mind. Over the past 40 years, researchers from Cambridge University and the Swiss Federal Institute of Forest, Snow, and Landscape Research have studied ibex populations. They've even found that when large animals were targeted, that the average size of the animals, whether that be through body size or horns, was not affected. And what they actually did find, and their main thing that they wanted to point out, was that hunting does not negatively affect the ibex population, and in fact actually makes them stronger. Authorities also prefer population sizes to be smaller so competition is less. All great things. Another study that they did in Europe was by Pelayo Acevedo and colleagues from the University of Barcelona. They wanted to see if hunting could regulate the wild boar population and in turn help regulate the environment. They found that hunting does help maintain the boar population, but it alone was not enough to help keep the boars under complete control. They said that the situation was very similar to the deer populations in northeastern United States. The deer are eating too much of the native trees and flowers that many animals rely on. In conclusion, the benefits of hunting don't only affect the hunter, but also carry over into the ecosystems in which the animals live. They help hunters by providing meat and simultaneously helping animals through conservation efforts and population management. As long as man and beast live on the planet together, hunting will survive for generations to come.